Hi, my name is Ann Kent. I'm a registered dietitian nutritionist and a certified diabetes educator. I'm the owner and founder of Peas and Happiness, which is my nutrition private practice. And today I'm going to talk a little bit about mix and match meals and how to use these for some easy backup plans if you need a quick meal on the go or if you're struggling to find some ingredients and are wondering what to keep on hand. So I'm going to base this around last week's Peas and Happy Meals guide lunch option, which is our spring snack box. All of the meals that I create are based around the healthy plate model, which includes a protein, a carbohydrate, and a vegetable. So in the spring snack box, the protein are walnuts and cheese. The carbohydrate is a fruit, it's the strawberries, and then our veggie are the snap peas. The reason that I chose these is because since it's spring, these are the fruits and veggies that are now coming into season. The best way to know what's in season is, if you can't make it to your local farmer's market, is to go to the grocery store and just see what's on sale. So strawberries were on sale, which tells me that they are coming into season, and although they might not be available in the state where I live in Colorado, they're probably coming from a state that's close by and not from a greenhouse or shipped halfway across the world. So always look for your veggies and fruits that are on sale at the grocery store. So we're going to take this outline, this box, and I'm going to show you some different ideas of proteins, some carbs, and some veggies so that you can create a lot of different options without having to cook several different meals. So let's get started. Okay, so we're going to start with the protein in our spring snack box. And again, for our protein here, we have the walnuts and the cheese, which are both vegetarian options. And one thing about proteins is that oftentimes we think of meat, but there are a lot of good vegetarian options that don't have to be prepped ahead of time. Another one, we could do any sort of mixed nuts in place of the walnuts, just for some variety. Or we could do a nut butter, either peanut butter, sunflower butter, cashew butter, almond butter, something in place of there just to give a little bit more variety. So in addition to those options, another good vegetarian option are beans. So these are chickpeas, or they also go by garbanzo beans. You can either roast these or rinse them and throw them in with a salad raw. So beans are a little bit confusing because they are a starchy vegetable as well as having a lot of protein. So beans sort of meet all of the criteria for something healthy, but since they do have protein, those would be another really good option. Another option that's technically not a protein but acts similarly is an avocado. While this is not necessarily having a lot of protein, it does something similar to our blood sugar and energy levels, and it helps to stabilize them because of the healthy fat. So instead of making something like guacamole, you can eat an avocado really simply by just cutting it in half, discarding the pit, seasoning it with a little bit of taco seasoning or seasoned salt, and literally scooping the flesh out of the shell with a spoon and putting it on tortilla chips or crackers or something like that. So that is a super easy option in place of a protein. The only meat option I have today are these tuna packets. As you can see, these are both different flavors. That's what I like about these tuna packets. They come ready to eat. So this one is in ranch and this one is spicy Thai chili. But there's a lot of different options. There's also options for like salmon in place of the tuna, so you can get a variety there. Of course, you can also do some easy proteins like sauteed chicken breast or something on the grill like burgers. But if you want a really easy, no prep, grab and go protein, those are some of my favorite options. Another of my favorite options are eggs. You can do those, of course, hard boiled, or you could fry them, scramble them, something like that. So let's move on to our carbohydrate. Again, here I have fruit, and fruit is one of my favorite carbohydrates, both because it's really easy and is also super healthy. So I like to remind people that nature often gives us already packaged and prepared, ready to eat servings of fruit. So something like an apple or a pear or a banana, those are all really good options that you can just throw in your lunch bag, wash right before you're ready to eat, and be ready to go. Another favorite thing I like to keep in our refrigerator are grapes. And as you can see, I put them in a colander here. I've already rinsed them, and I also snipped them into little bunches. So they're already in your little portion sizes. You can grab as many as you want according to how hungry you are. And that's a really easy, ready to go snack option. Of course, when you think of carbs, a lot of times you think of the salty things as well. So I also have some Triscuits here as another good option. The reason I love Triscuits is because they're really minimally prepared. You can see on the ingredient label that they only have 3 ingredients. They have whole grain wheat, canola oil, and sea salt. So if you're looking for a minimally processed salty snack, Triscuits can be another really good option. Another thing that I really like is quinoa. So if you are cooking your meal, quinoa is one of my favorites because it is a whole grain. Technically it's a seed, but nutritionally it works like a whole grain. So this works really well in place of something like rice, because brown rice, whole grain rice, takes a really long time to cook, but quinoa from start to finish takes like 15 to 20 minutes. So there's always instructions on the back that you can read if you're not familiar with how to cook it. So that's another really good option. Okay, so let's get on to veggies, which are my favorite part and oftentimes one of the more challenging things. Again, here we have snap peas because those are in season. They're raw. You can also throw this into a stir fry and cook them if you'd like. But another of my favorite raw veggies, besides we always think of things like baby carrots, but one of my favorite things are these cherry tomatoes. They're super sweet. They're ready to eat. All you need to do is rinse them before you eat them. Something you should know is that you should rinse them right before you're ready to eat and not before. And also you want to store your tomatoes at room temperature because they lose their flavor if you put them in the fridge. So that's another super easy little option. You can also saute those or roast them in the oven until they burst. And that's another really fun, interesting veggie just to give you some variety. I also have here some cut up broccoli. And I wanted to show you this because I actually just happened to have some leftovers when I was preparing another meal. So if you are prepping veggies for a different meal and you have extra, go ahead and chop that up while you've got all of your ingredients out and everything's dirty so that you have some easy options in the fridge for later. So you could either eat that raw, or if you had a bunch, you could roast it as well. Another of my favorite veggie options is to just grab a bag of either pre-made salad, or this is just washed spinach. I like the spinach honestly because it's cheaper, it's more versatile. I could throw this into a spaghetti sauce if I wanted, into eggs, or I can make a quick salad out of it. It's really simple. But there's more and more really good, easy, already prepped salad options out there. So if you're not opposed to those can be really great as well. I didn't show you any of my other favorite go-to vegetable. It's similar to the snap peas, but I love frozen green beans. Instead of steaming them, I'll oftentimes just throw them into a skillet, really hot skillet with a little bit of oil and some soy sauce, and cook them for 5 to 10 minutes until they're the crispiness that I want. But that's another really good, easy, healthy, and crowd-pleasing veggie recipe. So those are some of my favorite options for those mix and match meals. Okay, so I hope some of those ideas were helpful to you, and now you have maybe a little bit better idea of what to include on your grocery list the next time you shop. If you have other ideas, I would love to hear them. Feel free to send me a message or shoot me an email, drop a comment. Let me know what some of your family's favorite grab-and-go meals are, things that you can create in less than 15 minutes with what you have on hand. I get some of my best ideas from my clients and friends and families, so I always love to hear what you guys have to say. Don't forget to go grab that mix and match meal guide. It will be super helpful when you're trying to figure out what's on your grocery list. And you'll also be signed up for the Peas and Hoppiness mailing list so that you can continue to know about great content and tips and tricks and other helpful info. So if you have any other questions, again, don't hesitate to reach out. Thanks for spending a little bit of time with me today, and I hope it was helpful. Have a great one, guys. Bye.